Ready, start. If it appears to be undisputable, as it does to us, that the pensioners, for the purpose of pension benefits, form a class, would its upward revision permit a homogeneous class to be divided by arbitrarily fixing an eligibility criteria unrelated to purpose of revision, and would such classification be founded on some rational principle? Question mark. The classification has to be based, as is well settled, on some rational principle, and the rational principle must have nexus to the objects sought to be achieved. Stop. We have set out the objects underlying the payment of pension. Stop. If the state considered it necessary to liberalize the pension scheme, we find no rational principle behind it for granting these benefits only to those who retired subsequent to that date, simultaneously denying the same to those who retired prior to that date. Stop. If the liberalization was considered necessary for augmenting social security in old age to government servants, then those who retired earlier cannot be worse off than those who retire later. Stop. Therefore, this division, which classified pensioners into two classes, is not based on any rational principle, and if the rational principle is the one of dividing pensioners with a view to giving some things more to persons otherwise equally placed, it would be discriminatory. Stop. To illustrate, take two persons, one retired just a day prior and another a day just succeeding the specified date. Stop. Both were in the same pay bracket. The average emolument was the same and both had put in equal number of year of service. Stop. How does a fortuitous circumstance of retiring a day earlier or a day later will permit totally unequal treatment in the matter of pension? Question mark. One retiring a day earlier will have to be subject to ceiling of rupees 8100 per annum and average emolument to be worked out on 36th month's salary, while the other will have a ceiling of rupees 12,000 per annum and average emolument will be computed on the basis of last 10 months average. Stop. The artificial division states into phase and is unrelated to any principle, and whatever principle, if there be any, has absolutely no nexus to the objects sought to be achieved by liberalizing the pension scheme. Stop. In fact, this arbitrary division has not only no nexus to the liberalized pension scheme, but it is counterproductive and runs counter to the whole gamut of pension scheme. Stop. The equal treatment guaranteed in Article 14 is wholly violated inasmuch as the pension rules, being statutory in character since the specified date, the rules accord differential and discriminatory treatment to equals in the matter of computation of pension. Stop. A 48 hours difference in the matter of retirement would have a traumatic effect. Division is thus both arbitrary and unprincipled. Stop. Therefore, the classification does not stand the test of Article 14. Stop. Para. By our approach, are we making the scheme retroactive? The answer is emphatically in the negative. Stop. Take a government servant who retired on April 1st, 1979. He would be governed by the liberalized pension scheme. By that time, he had put in qualifying service of 35 years. Stop. His length of service is irrelevant factor for computation of pension? Has the government made it retroactive 35 years backward compared to the case of a government servant who retired on 30th March 1979?